After weeks of verbal sparring today, it was all smiles as two frenemies played nice. Mark Carney knows his victory a week ago was largely thanks to Donald Trump's threats. One subject was dominating today.
Mr. President, are you close to a trade deal?
Inside the Oval Office, the president acknowledged his threats to Canada had backfired, turning around Mark Carney's electoral fortunes.
I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't take vote credit. His party was losing by a lot, and he ended up winning, so I really want to congratulate him. It was probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of politics, maybe even greater than mine. You know.
The threat of turning Canada into America's 51st state still hung in the air. Here, the president tried to make the Prime Minister an offer he couldn't refuse.
No, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, you know, as a real estate developer, you know, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said that's the way it was meant to be. But you know, I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, you know, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
Never say never. Never say never.
But Mark Carney did, repeatedly. Then he found his voice.
Respectfully, Canadians' view on this is not going to change on the 51st state. Secondly, we are the largest client of the United States in the totality of all the goods. So we are the largest client of the United States.
But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be? It's a very substantial number.
Mark Carney was probably relieved he didn't have to bite his lip any longer.
Thank you very much. We're going to have a very
A restrained but also deeply uncomfortable meeting between two men who have very different views about their country's relationship.